welcome to day one of my first prep. So we're heading down to London, to Muscleworks Gym. This series, whatever you want to call it, is just going to take you guys on the journey with me to understanding exactly where I stand in this sport of bodybuilding. This first season for me it's a trial run. It's a trial run so we can set the next couple of years up. Myself and my coach Tom, we've got a clear timeline of what we want to achieve, and I think we just want to have fun with it this year. We want to enjoy the process, we want to see what I'm capable of, we want to sort of dig deep. For me, it's been a long time coming doing this, and the timing had to be right. A lot of things have happened, a lot of things have gone on in the past couple of years that have stopped me doing this. Spinning all these plates and spinning this bodybuilding journey is going to be interesting, and I want to really find out about myself, and that's what I'm trying to do this year. I'm trying to see what my level is, and I'm trying to work that out so I can then push on the next couple of years. So there's no expectation on my behalf other than just to bring my absolute fucking A game. I think that's the best way for me to fully enjoy this prep, fully enjoy this process. And in a perfect world, when you're doing something like this, you get everything lined up, you plan everything so you can give everything you possibly can to this. So all your ducks are in a row, but life isn't really like that. So I'm going to show you like the true ups and downs. I'm going to give full transparency of everything. My confidence was not last year, was dealing with this sort of illness and just dealing with this sort of shit feedback and social media pressures and all that sort of stuff. It's a bit of a strange way to build myself back up, but that's exactly what I'm going to do. Nothing's going to get easier. Life's about a series of events. Life's about a series of things that happen. When I first started talking about why I got into training, it's because I wanted to be on a level playing field with everyone. So I wanted to get bigger, so I wasn't socially less accepted. When you're on that stage, you're in that space, nothing else matters other than the performance. All right, so I'm going to put myself on a stage where I'm going to be judged against other people, and it's just for purely how I look aesthetically, the muscle I carry, the look I present. I've always gravitated towards sport, I've always gravitated towards performance, I've always gravitated to something like this because I know I'm going to get judged for the skill I have. It would be unfair for me to say the passion was bodybuilding. The passion was exactly what I just said to you. I seek out that playing field where I will be judged for the work I put in. Yeah, just got to London. We're just waiting for Phoebes to land, and then we're going to head over to Muscleworks.
Are you joking?
What, that woman off Home Alone? Fucking. Yeah, we're going to train at Muscleworks, and we're going to train upper. So push, arms is a massive, it's just a massive work on for me. It's something that I really want to bring up. Tom has put a lot of focus into it in the last stint of training. I've been working through different training blocks and through different training styles. I've been working through high volume, which is a bit more of like a Milo style. I've also worked through progressive overload stints. I'm in a bit of a sweet spot where I would say it's a hybrid form of training where we blend heavy weights with high volume. I think there's a lot to be told about working to someone's strengths and their sort of genetic. My genetic makeup means that my lactic acid per shoulder is quite poor. So top end, like 30 plus reps, I really struggle to get in there. We want to create fatigue in the muscle. We're not just trying to create fatigue across a movement. And I've learned that through operating through these styles. So when we go into the Muscleworks, you're going to see that. You're going to see that in the training. How easy is it to find a squares bar in London, King's Cross? No, Pret won't do it, will they? It's not bougie enough. There's Waitrose and there's WH Smith. You try that first. Try WH Smith first. I feel like that could be one. Cool. Oh my God, no. Who shops at Waitrose for the pre-workout? Legit fuming about that. total focus is you drag it through, you're tensing it all the way through, and you're just trying to pop it in that 3 seconds. And this is about tempo and control for me. Now, when we've done chest before, I've spoken to you about bringing your elbow through and making sure the chest is contracted. That's exactly what we're gonna do on this, all right? So we're gonna take the chest into maximum contraction, we're gonna shorten it. This next one, we're gonna hold it in the lengthened. One thing you'll never hear from me is like the specifics of what this muscle is, the insertion point, because I just like to break it down and make it easy to understand. We're gonna work in the stretch, we're gonna hold it in the stretch. Now we need to be careful that when we're in that position, because we're driving through our elbows, we need to be careful about the amount of tension we put through that, all right? It's a lot to handle. And as we're driving through, we're trying to scoop that pec up. You can see my pec lift straight away, all right? So we're in a weak position, so we just need to be conscious of the load now. When you're bringing it through, you teach yourself to fail. Don't compromise your form just to get that little bit closer. Keep it tight. If I fail there and the muscle's on, the chest is at its peak, that's better than compromising and dropping my delts just to get my hands in. Think bigger. Think this exercise is here to blow my chest up. It's not to get A to B. So the classification isn't, it's a good set because I've got from here to here. Your class set is a good set if that is banging. Wow, chest is blown already. That's the thing about the volume on this pec deck. Once you've got the skill and once you've got the connection with your chest, work like this just works way more, works way better for me than just trying to progress volume and volume and volume. After a certain stage when I get heavy on this, it just affects my joints and I'm not hitting the pec. I'm limited by joint pain, I'm limited by my delts when they take over, so. Yeah, it's an inspirational place this, it's cool. You can see that there's been some champions made in here. Can you see this is setting me about? Odd plates. My head is... It's top and back. A 6 to 10 and a 10 to 15. These machines, right? They'll put you in this like really upright position. You put your back into it, you'll be in this really upright position. Like if I grab that handle, look at my shoulder, like that is just going to absolutely ruin my rotator cuff. Right, so the easiest thing to do is just to slip, right, get underneath and look at the position of my arm, look at the position of my shoulder. Right, so there, I'm just going to press straight up, straight line. Here, right, I'm going to have to go down and underneath. All right, so it's just going to wreck my shoulder. All right, so always sort of protect yourself. And always think, what's the best setup you can possibly get to drive the muscle? Pressing line is so important, right? Easiest tip, quickest tip to make sure you're pressing through the right line is naturally when you go into a press, you'll immediately think you press from here, right? My face, as you can see it. Press through there, right? Nothing really happens up here, right? I get a lot of front delt and the chest doesn't really work that much. So you see a lot of guys going to presses, like up here, right? That probably stems from benching. Everyone's like, oh, what do you bench, mate? It's irrelevant. Get into it, drop your elbows, press through there. Yeah, press through there, the pec's gonna be on. I can't live with that. When you go to a gym, put your weights away. pricks. One of the benefits about sitting yourself like this as well is when you drop into that position there, right, as you're pressing and as you sort of grinding those last reps out, if you fail, what's going to happen? Where are you going to go? Like, it's just going to come back straight. Right, you're literally going to drop into there. Worst thing you need to do is just drop, and you'll just be safe. Always think how to set yourself up in the best way, safest way, engage the muscle, and also preempt the failure. Preempt, right, I'm going to rinse this set. What's going to happen when I'm at that point? Have I got enough leverage to grind through that rep? Where's my leverage point? It's my feet pushing my back into the pad. So when it gets tough, I'm pushing my back into the pad, it's counter force, and I know I'm driving it forward. Right? And I know it's not going to rip my head off because I know I can just drop into it if I need to fail. So when the new movements and the new machines, like the first thing I'll always do, really lightweight, feel it, and just feel the pattern, all right? Like, people go in and they'll have loads of ego about it, but you just need to sort of feel it and feel how it is. That's nice, that. So as I'm pressing through, like I'm thinking about my position, I'm thinking about my feet, I'm thinking about, can I push my back into the pad? Like the arc, like how it arcs going through. Does it converge at the top? I'm just kind of studying it. Yeah, cool. And you'll have like an internal gauge of your own strength and how that feels. Probably like a 4 out of 10, 3 out of 10. You'll hear some guys talk about RPE, how heavy it is. Just a bit of a tip, if you have to reset your top set like I have, don't just bang it in and go straight back in. Like, go through your normal sort of little routine before you go into your heavy work. Make sure you go through your set points and then go in. Right, set a standard that you will always go through very, very similar patterns before you lift, like your top set. That was decent. So, I'm managing a bit of a tendonitis issue, and the only reason I stopped it there is I just felt it ping a bit. So let's be smart about the next 14 weeks and not kill ourselves in the first session. You're always going to carry some form of niggle when you're doing something like this. You're always going to carry some form of ailment. You're never going to be in like optimal condition across the entire structure. So it's just about understanding where you are and then taking it to the limit and stopping short if it's going to impede your long-term progress. I can't find a flat press that I get on with in here, so I'm just gonna leave it out. We'll see if there's anything that I can connect with in a little bit, but like at this stage, I'm not gonna risk I'm not going to risk getting an injury on a machine that's not really set up for me. So rowing is about engaging your lat, right? Now the way to do that is to make sure that you're moving your elbow through the movement, all right? So yes, your hands grip, but once that's done, it's done. And it's about your elbow moving down. So elbow moves down and that signals a lot, right? And when we're here and we contract, right, I don't just let it off and I let it go back up there. What I'm doing here is, I'm going to exaggerate this to show you, is I'm trying to drive my elbow away like that, right? Doing that keeps the lat working both ways. And think about getting most bang for buck on a movement. Right, so my hands have got it, and it's bang. It's the unlocking of the elbows that kicks it off. Like, the exhaustion you'll feel on back days is gonna be tenfold. Just because everything is chest supported really. So where you're normally taking that breath in, just digging your chest into the pad as you're pulling, so it's all on the lat. But obviously as you try to take a breath, you're putting all your weight onto that, so it will inhibit how much oxygen you can take in. But it's just that balance of position, airing. You can see I'm gassed. It's taking about 5 minutes to explain this. I'm gonna drop it with the rest. I'm just gonna go straight back in 5 seconds. Like when you guys are training, let it fail along the right path, right? So when I was there, right, that's my delt at its peak. Any other way would have meant me jolting it up, losing my form. Remember what we said? The definition of the failure of the set is the failure of the muscle, not like the functionality of being able to do the rep. Mobility is definitely not my strong point, so we all know I'm not getting that. Yo, it's nice that. Yeah, it's nice that. So when you're doing a bicep curl, on a lot of these machines, what you'll see happen a lot is people get here and they lift up and they lift their elbows up like that, right? So I'm gonna show you something, right? So I'm doing a curl from the side, right? That's my bicep at its peak, right? Watch what I do with my shoulders, right? Look at where my hands are, look how close my hands are to my shoulders, right? If I want to get a bit further, what can I do? Literally just move that like that, right? That's essentially what you do when you lift your elbows off the pad, right? You're just allowing your shoulder to help you out with the movement. The bicep's not failing, right? So when you drive this up, when you pull this, right, set yourself and actively think, as you take that up, you're pushing your elbows into the pad, okay? So as that moves, you drive your elbows into the pad. Elbows don't come away, and biceps at peak. Five sets on this, between 10 and 20, right? Making sure we don't lift our elbow off the pad, driving that in, squeezing the bicep as hard as we possibly can at the top, and it's just 5 sets. Wall. I'm running out of weight to drop. So with this type of training style I'm adopting, a blend of heavy and volume, it's essential that I get fueled properly. So carb drive is important for me. So I don't have any drop-offs in training. And then essential gains, my essential aminos, just help stimulate MPS throughout the session. Essential gains, carb drive, creatine, hydroflow are all key for me intra-workout. Right, it was a good first day onto prep. Into a new gym, into a new environment, and it was good to be around new people, new kit, just to sort of test yourself against other people in certain little battles on sets. So 14 weeks to prove myself, 14 weeks to see where the gaps are.